This is what I imagine paradise must look like. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people come to the Maldives to visit some of the most beautiful islands and beaches anywhere in the world. Yet, there's a dark side to paradise. More than 200 young people from the Maldives are today fighting in Iraq, along with the Islamic State and with the Al-Qaeda linked Al-Nusra Front. The caliphate's rising next door to India and has all kinds of consequences that we've barely understood. In this series, the Indian Express tries to find out why. I'm guessing this good-looking young man could have had a career as a model or perhaps even a movie star. His name is Hassan Shifazi, and he's one of many Maldivians to have died fighting with Al-Nusra, an affiliate of Al-Qaeda in Syria and Iraq. These are photographs of his two beautiful children who now live in Malé with their mother. I tried finding out what had driven Hassan Shifazi and young men like him to die in a distant land. His mother put it down to dreams he'd had, where the Prophet Muhammad asked him to come and fight by his side. Talking to his friends though, I heard a very different story about a young man troubled by drugs and a past life of violent street crime, trying to make penitence for terrible things he'd done early in his life. Many of the young people from both Bangladesh and the Maldives heading to fight in the Islamic State today are people with past lives involved in drugs, drug addiction, street crime of various kinds. It's possible that their newfound passion gives them a sense of purpose and of agency that they lacked in their everyday lives. The countries have deep political schisms too, with Islamist politicians preying on the most vulnerable young people, promising them that participation in this cause will guarantee them in the afterlife what they cannot have in this one. Entire families in the Maldives have made the journey to the Islamic State, believing that the doors to an earthly paradise lie through its gates. Fatullah Jamil, whose wife is Indian and whose children, his 3 sons, grew up in India, was among them. The children and their wives are all now living in Syria. They've left their elderly parents behind in a single-room house in Malé, trying to make sense of what happened and why. Intelligence services across the region are worried about what will happen when these young men come home. In Bangladesh and in the Maldives, there is already intense political fractures and contestation on the streets. Should these young men come back, having learned how to fight and possibly armed, these conflicts could escalate to unprecedented levels. There's also concern about what it could mean for India to have a new generation of highly trained, battle-hardened jihadis ready and placed to fight in countries from which India has in the past faced no real threat. This is going to be one of the most significant stories of the coming years. The caliphate, it would seem, isn't something far away. It's rising right next door.